We're going to turn now to a developing story we've been following every step of the way. 3 men facing terrorism charges consented to staying in detention, which means they will stay behind bars for now. The feds say the suspects had recently been scouting possible targets for attack, including Ferndale LGBTQ bars and Cedar Point. Now a total of 8 people are charged, including 2 juveniles. 7 investigator Heather Catala was inside federal court this morning when 3 of those men faced a judge. Heather, what's happening?
Well, so many things. This case has been moving really rapidly. All 3 of the local adult suspects in this case will stay locked up. Today, they consented to pretrial detention, and this is likely going to be a very long process, not only because there are 2 juveniles involved, but also because the government has put the defense on notice that they plan to use FISA court material, which is Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act information.
AR-15 style rifles, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, trips to gun ranges, and secret surveillance. Those things are all at the center of what the feds are calling a foiled terror plot on American soil. 20-year-old Muhammad Ali, his brother 19-year-old Ayub Nasser, and 20-year-old Majed Mahmoud are all charged with providing material support to ISIS and with having firearms that would be used to commit an act of terrorism. When the FBI raided locations in Dearborn and Inkster on Halloween, they said evidence showed the suspects repeatedly referenced Pumpkin Day as part of planning a mass casualty event on Halloween weekend. Court records show the 3 men had allegedly scoped out bars in Ferndale and the Cedar Point amusement park as potential targets.
Court calls case 25-30673, United States of America versus Ayub Nasser.
Now, Ali, Nasser, and Mahmoud will be staying behind bars after their attorneys told a federal magistrate Monday morning that all 3 men are consenting to detention.
We're going to waive our challenge to detention at this time.
So he'll be consenting then?
We do consent to detention without prejudice to raising the issue of release at a later time.
The next time we see these defendants in court, it'll be for their arraignment on the indictment. They'll be indicted pretty soon. The government has telegraphed that.
Former U.S. Attorney Matthew Schneider says even though the FBI provided a lot of detail about the case in their 93-page criminal complaints expire, which means formal indictments could happen as soon as this week. The feds have been working this case since at least 2024, and even though the recent arrests have been happening quickly, Schneider says the whole case is about to slow down thanks to this, a notice of intent to use Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act information.
So it's secret classified information. It means that they were surveilling these defendants in some ways that they haven't made known yet. They might have been using some secret surveillance types, and they haven't disclosed that publicly.
Schneider says while it appears federal prosecutors have a lot of evidence, the defense attorneys now involved are no stranger to complex terrorism cases.
This is a very sophisticated prosecution, and it's going to be very difficult, and it's a big burden to overcome. So it's to these defendants' advantage that they have such sophisticated defense counsel who've done this before. They know the ins and outs, not only of the federal courthouse, but of these particular types of charges.
Now, as for the 2 juveniles charged, that case is totally under seal, which means no one is allowed to talk about their cases. That process will stay very much out of the public eye and not in a public courtroom, and it's going to take a while for that to sort of make its way through the system. It's very rare to have a federal juvenile case, so we have a lot more to learn potentially about that. But these attorneys on the defense side, they've done both domestic and international terrorism cases before. They know what they're doing, and they are not commenting.
Wow, and to hear those details come out, it's frightening.
It is.
All right, thanks a lot, Heather.
You're welcome.